So if yesterday's confirmation wasn't enough about the things that I was talking to you all about yesterday, come to find out that Joe Biden now has passed a National Day of Visibility for Transgenders. And it's now going to be a celebrated holiday, March 31st, every year. That's what he has in place now. If you don't believe me, go to www.whitehouse.org and you will find this new law that he just passed. But like I just said, if yesterday all the things I shared with you wasn't enough proof of the things that have been going on and the worst things to come, well, there's that. It's like almost every other day, something happens to furthermore prove that things are only going to get worse when it comes to mocking and rebelling against God. Now, before I get into more details about this, I just want to make something very clear in a way where you can't really argue with me as to where I stand on this. First and foremost, I honestly didn't even want to do a video specifically regarding homosexuality. Reason being is because it's so popular now, it's so indoctrinated in our culture that it's just the norm. And there's been so many people throughout the world, Christians, covering the topic. And I didn't want to do it because, well, it's nothing new. But at the same time, considering how much more this agenda from the LGBTQ community is being pushed and pushed and pushed, it's basically being shoved down our throats now at this point. And as much as I didn't want to talk about it, I felt led in the spirit last night, even all the way up till this morning, to go further into detail about this. So again, I didn't want to do this originally, but I want to be obedient to God. And I have nothing against any man or woman engaging in a homosexual lifestyle. All right? Though sin is sin, there's also higher levels of it. That's biblical. And even though there's higher levels of it, well, we got to be balanced here. Sin is sin. Who am I to unrighteously judge you when I'm a flawed man myself? Just because I don't struggle with homosexuality, that don't give me a right to misjudge you as a person. So again, I got nothing against you if you're gay, if you're lesbian or bisexual. I love you. My love for you is not going to change. But I don't agree with your lifestyle. I'm not in favor or in support of your lifestyle. That doesn't make me a homophobe. That doesn't make me hate you. That doesn't mean I have any kind of negative feelings or thoughts towards you. I'm just not in favor of your lifestyle because as a man of God, I want to live according to his standards. I don't want to disappoint him. I don't want to grieve him. That's what every Christian should strive to do. Not this progressive stuff, not this gummy bear Christianity that's like growing all the more throughout the country. No, biblical truth, the Word of God. That's what we should all be striving towards. But now that that's out of the way, let's just dive into this, okay? The main reason, out of all the details, out of all the specifics as to why God opposes homosexuality, why people practicing it intentionally mocking God and going against him, it's this. Anything that goes against God's plan is evil. Anything that goes against God's plan does not properly function. Now, there's many other sins that have this same concept, but homosexuality is so glorified, idolized, and it's become the norm at this point, to the point where nobody even considers it to be a mockery towards God when it is. This is the analogy that I always use with my friends who don't believe, and if I'm just talking with someone I don't know who disagrees with me about this, okay? This is one of the best analogies I could give out there. If you are standing at a dam, the water's flowing, the water's moving great, and you take a log, you put it right in the middle, what's going to happen? It's going to flood. It's going to burst, and the natural flow of the dam is going to stop. And when a flood occurs, there's so much damage that's done, but it could have been prevented if you didn't put that log in the middle of the dam to begin with. Well, likewise with homosexuality, when you're putting the log in the dam, when you are preventing or trying to prevent God's original plan for human life to continue moving forward, it's nothing but damage. It's nothing but literally going against God. You're going against the flow of the dam, and you're bringing disaster upon yourself. Now, I don't know what argument I haven't heard in regards to justifying homosexuality. I really don't know what argument I haven't heard. So just to kind of push all that out of the way, let's just jump into this. Just to get more detailed, let's talk about HIV. All right, just a prime example of a terrible result of engaging in a homosexual lifestyle. All right. There are many different forms people can contract HIV. I get that. I'm not disputing that. That's just biological facts. However, if you look up statistics for yourself, if you put in the effort to do the research for yourself, you will find that homosexuality is one of the prime reasons people contract AIDS. Why? Because, just look at human nature in itself in the course of things. It's supposed to be man and woman for a reason. If a man and a man engage in sexual activity, you increase your chances of HIV tremendously. Same thing with women. With women, it's less likely, but the concept is still the same. The more you keep engaging in that, you increase your risk of HIV. Why would you want to do that? You can't keep your sexual urges at bay that bad that you're willing to get HIV. You can try all these modern day practices of medicine to try preventing it, but eventually it's going to catch up to you. Just look at the numbers. Look at the statistics. This isn't my opinion. Just look it up. And not only that, answer me this, okay? Why is it that there's so many broken families, there's so many broken homes, and when people engage in homosexual lifestyles, you still wonder why families don't function well, healthy, or normal? You can't create a family of your own, man and man. You can't create a family of your own with woman and woman. Now, if you want to argue with me about the whole adoption argument, yeah, you can do that. But that child is going to grow up without a father figure or a mother figure. And when a child grows up with that, they're going to have so many issues down the line in their adulthood. Family is supposed to be husband, wife, and children. That's it. But we complicate the simplicity of things because we just simply don't want to live according to God's will. We don't want to live in a way that things were supposed to be. And when things aren't functioning right, when problems come down the line for us, we blame everybody and everything but ourselves when we bring it on ourselves. Why are you going to put the blame on God when he clearly says, don't engage in this kind of lifestyle? If he's telling you not to do that and you do it, why are you putting the blame on him when problems come down the line? It's got nothing to do with him. You're the one doing that. Any sinful act we do, any evil deed we do, it is because of us. God's not forcing us to do anything. You can only blame the devil so much too. He's the tempter. He's a evil influencer, absolutely. But all in all, we make our own decisions, whether they're good or bad. And there's nobody to blame but us. We have free will to do whatever we want, and depending on how we use it is going to determine the outcome, whether or not it's positive or negative, or good or bad. It's all up to you. But to end this video on best of a good note as I can, because there's going to be so many, probably more people than not, that disagree with this. They're probably not going to hear me out from start to finish, but that's all right. When homosexuality is idolized, when it is praised and glorified, look throughout the Bible every single time before a nation is destroyed. It's always when homosexuality in a particular city, country, or nation is idolized, because it is a straight, direct mockery against God, going against his plan, going against the natural course of nature, and we fall. So if you really can't control your sexual urges, you make every excuse in the book to engage in these behaviors. You're bringing your own destruction on yourself. And as a nation, because this has become idolized so much, we are headed in the direction where we're just going to fall and collapse. But if you are a believer, if you put your trust in Jesus, if you've given him your life and you've put all your faith in him and him alone, you'll be all right. I promise you that, because God will not abandon his people or leave them like orphans. God bless you.